In today's video, I will tell you about my experience of applying to be a model for Angelic Pretty event. My name is Joelle and you're watching Fluffy Kawaii Jo, the channel where I try to show you that everybody can be kawaii. I do videos on Mondays and Thursdays, so if you're new here, please consider subscribing. So now let's get on with the video and see you at the very end for a full detail of my coordinates. So, I applied to be a model for the Angelic Pretty tea party in July 2018. That was my second Angelic Pretty tea party that I attended, and I did not apply for the first one because I wanted to enjoy the event. And first of all, disclaimer, I have not been selected, so this is not a video telling you what to do to be selected. It's a video telling you my experience of what I did, what maybe I would not do in the future, and also the timeline and process, so you can know what to expect, when to freak out when you haven't heard from them or anything. I have not seen any other video talking about that, so I just thought that maybe it would be good to make a video to give more info to people who would like to apply to be an Angelic Pretty model and maybe don't really know what to expect. And maybe next year, if I'm selected or if I get the chance to interview somebody who has been selected, then I can give you more info about what to do to be selected. But this is not what to do to be selected right now. This is what to expect and maybe what not to do. So I will start with telling you a few dates of when they sent what info, and then I will go in more details for everything. So the event was on July 8th, 2018. They released the info to the general public to attend the tea party, not to model, on May 18th, so about a month and a half before. And then on May 25th, like a week after, they released the call for models. And the deadline was 22nd of June, so you had about a month to apply. So the deadline was about 2 weeks before the fashion show, and they said you would get an answer about a week later, so by the end of June. So I sent my email way before the deadline, and right after I received an email saying that thank you for your application, you will get an info about if you're selected or not by the end of June. And on the 16th of June, before the deadline, I received a request that Angelic Pretty Japan wanted more information. And I received actually the information that I was not selected on the 28th of June. So that was just to put all the dates here and just so you know the timeline. So now I'll go in more detail for the whole process. Just another date here. For the tea party attendance, like general ticket, they released the info on 18th of May, and the registrations were open on the 30th of May, 11 a.m. Paris time. And it sells out super quickly, so I would totally suggest that if you want to get a ticket, you should totally be in front of your computer to buy it at that specific time. This year we had to buy it through the website, like put some stuff in your cart and pay and everything. And so you have to know that you need a ticket to apply to be a model. Anyways, you will have your ticket before applying. Oh wait. Yeah, they send the info about the modeling 4 days before they opened the ticket sales. So technically you could apply before having your ticket, but just to be sure, wait that you are sure that you have a ticket before applying, because they will not let you model if you do not have a ticket. Regarding that, they also let you know that it's not a paid fashion show or that you get a discount or anything. You have to pay full price to your ticket, and you do not get a refund if you're selected as a model. And also, so you know, you have to be well in advance to do the rehearsal, but you also will waste like maybe half of the actual event by waiting to model modeling and then changing back, and then you can come enjoy your friends, but you will not attend like half of the party. So just so you know, if you're modeling, you will miss half of the event. So if you're like me and you want to take a lot of pictures and make interviews and film the whole event, maybe it's not the best thing to do. So here's everything that I will ask you to do to apply. You will have to write an email with the title that is specified in the information to the Angelic Pretty Paris store, either in French or in English, and you have to be between 1 meter 58 and 1 meter 62 to apply. I was attending the tea party in Paris, so I was everything regarding this from the Paris store, but maybe if you want to model in another tea party or event where they have a local Angelic Pretty store, maybe do all considering to that store. So I'm mentioning Angelic Pretty Paris because that was my local Angelic Pretty store. And probably everything that I mentioned here is applicable for Europe and maybe the US, but probably Japan has a totally different way of selecting models or anything. So I would be sure to be registered in their mailing list, like a newsletter from your store, and also follow the Angelic Pretty Facebook page very closely. You can be sure to receive the notification every time they post so you don't miss. I knew they will announce it around the springtime, so I'd be sure to follow it, especially very delicately around that period, but it can totally differ from places to places. So what you must include in your email is like a picture frame that is sent you, and you have to add your own picture in it and fill it out with your information. So they ask for a full body picture, of course wearing Lolita, and a headshot with makeup. Then they ask you for your name, your profession, your email address, your city and country, your age, your phone number, your social media profiles, your height, waist, bust, and hips. I don't really get the hips because all the Lolita dresses will be hidden under the petticoat anyway. So the hips. So anyways, maybe if they want to model some OG fashion, I don't know. All these informations are to be given in centimeters, and they also ask for your shoe size in European and Japanese size. And they ask you if you have any modeling experience, if you can bring a petticoat, and if you own any Angelic Pretty shoes. I will do more on the shoes later. So this was added to the email, but there was also a link to a page on the website with more information, like that you have to be at the venue at 11:20, that you have to make your own hair and makeup, that the priority will be given to people with Angelic Pretty shoes, and you have to have your own bloomers and petticoat. So they mentioned that the petticoat doesn't have to be from Angelic Pretty. You can wear any petticoat. Of course, you should plan for a poofy petticoat, not just a very casual one. You will need something that really looks amazing, I guess. You have this picture that you have to fill with your information, with your pictures. So finding a headshot with makeup was not really a trouble for me, but finding a really good picture to put on the full body shot was actually kind of troubling for me. And I was kind of harassing one of the photographers that I had done pictures with lately because I knew it was an Angelic Pretty dress and that my coordinate would look awesome, and so I really wanted those pictures, and I was waiting for her to send me the pictures to see. And basically I was not happy about the poses or my face in most of the pictures. And there was one that was perfect, my face was perfect, the lighting was perfect, but it was like cut under the skirt, and so I really wanted to have a full body photo like they requested, so with the tights and shoes too. So I could not use this picture because it would not be what they requested. And all the other photos that I have with an Angelic Pretty dress were not like perfect. So they were like amateur, they did not look professional or anything. And I had many pictures from the Maison de Giulietta. And I think that all the times, like the 3 times that I went, I took pictures with Baby Sash and Bright dresses. So then what I said, I put like 2 or 3 pictures on my Facebook and Instagram maybe, and ask my friends, guys, I'm applying for the Angelic Pretty fashion show, which picture should I send? And I was like, this one is cut out, this one doesn't look professional, this one is not Angelic Pretty, which one is the less worth? And people said, oh, go for the baby one. And yeah, it was a perfectly good looking picture. I mean, if you want to model, you have to be sure that you look good in Lolita, that your face is good, and that your pose is good. They don't want to hire you if you cannot show a really good pose. So the pose was good and everything. But it was from Baby. So I was like, is it rude or not to send a picture from Baby? And my friends were like, no, I don't think so. You can go ahead. And actually not totally related to applying there, but you will see the knowledge that I gained. When I was putting together my coordinates, I was hesitating between 2 bags. One being the round clock bag from Baby the Sunshine Bright that I love, and the other one was a bag from Taobao that was a backpack with heart and wings and everything, and super pretty. So what I did is I could not decide for myself, and people in my live stream said, yeah, you could go ahead with the baby bag, but some people say, are you sure you can go to an ABT party with a baby bag? So what I said, I called the store and I said like, hey, I have 2 bags that I could bring, which one should I use? And they did not ask me what they look like. They said, is one of the bag from Baby the Sunshine Bright? And I said, yes. And she said, specifically the owner, also the designer, but specifically the owner of Angelic Pretty Japan, hates Baby the Sunshine Bright. I was like, okay, I'm gonna wear the Taobao one. Apparently, it's less bad to wear Taobao stuff to an Angelic Pretty tea party than Baby the Sunshine Bright. I mean, at least the accessories. Of course, there's the dress, the main piece has to be Angelic Pretty. But, so, knowing that now, I would probably not send the Baby the Sunshine Bright photo to apply next year. Just so you know. Prepare very good shots with your Angelic Pretty dresses. Okay, other than that, on the application, they asked if I had any modeling experience, and knowing that I will have to answer that question at other fashion shows that I wanted to apply, I had applied to be a model in a French fashion show they did at an anime convention, and so I could say that yes, I had some fashion show experience, so that was good. After that, I also modeled in the Myth of Our Own fashion show, so I have even more experience, but I just want to know if you do have any experience at all. They don't ask specific experience. And next up is, can you bring petticoat? Of course. And then, do you have Angelic Pretty shoes? I did not have any Angelic Pretty shoes, but I went on Lace Market and I found perfect ones for what I was looking for. They were white, they were flat, so I thought they would be comfortable and I could use them a lot, and they were from Angelic Pretty and not too expensive. So I thought that's perfect, and I bought them, and they said that you should send pictures of your shoes, so directly in the application I put the photos from the auction on Lace Market for my shoes. And so yeah, I had shoes. I thought that white shoes would be a good idea because it could go with any dresses. So I would suggest, if you have only like lavender ones or maybe sax ones, maybe it will be difficult for them to pick a dress that will match your shoes. So I would say that white would go better, or maybe like even a pink shoes, or maybe black shoes, but I would say white or pink ones, high heels would be the best. And don't even think going for replicas, I think it's not a good idea. And in my opinion, it was better to have flat shoes so I can wear them a lot and everything. But when I saw all the shoes that the people were wearing at the tea party and during the fashion show, it was most like high-heeled ones with glitter or shine or anything. Like, they look really like high fashion shoes and not basic tea party ones. So I don't know if it's my shoes that disqualified me, but just keep that in mind. And also the shoes that I bought were too small for me anyways, because there were a mistake in the thing, so I will be selling those tea party shoes, just so you know. Maybe look at my lace market sales and you might find them there. So then I had everything for my application, I sent it, and like the very same day I think I received an email saying, thank you, we got your application, we will tell you by the end of June what is our answer. And a few days before the end of the application, I received an email asking for more things, so have that prepared too. They said that they will discuss with Angelic Pretty Japan, so far I was only talking to Angelic Pretty Paris. And so they asked for my height and my weight. My height was already mentioned in the application, but they wanted to know my weight. So basically, I consider myself a plus size Lolita because I have to buy 2L or extra large when I go to some brands, but I'm not like overly fat looking or anything, not that it's a problem, but my actual weight, I was so afraid that Angelic Pretty Japan would think I'm super too fat. So at that time, I think I was around 70 kilos, 69 or 70 kilos, which is kind of low for me because I've been way higher and not as low as I have been. But yeah, I was kind of being my high lately, and so I was like, if I tell my weight to Japanese people, that's it. So maybe that's what disqualified me. I never know, but yep, I had to write my own weight. And they wanted pictures of all your wigs that you had, or if you use your own hair, the regular hairstyle that you would do. And so I freaked out, and it took me so long to pick so many, like the best picture of each wig. And if you're wearing Angelic Pretty in those pictures, that's even better. But yeah, basically it took me so long to do that, so I would suggest if you can prepare that in advance, that would save you so much time. Right now, basically in my computer, I have a file with each modeling application that I have done with all the pictures that they requested and this frame and everything that's in it, so I can just copy all the information from last time, and I have already a few pictures that I could use next time, so that's super useful for next time. Just to mention it here, if you see models in the Angelic Pretty fashion shows, they're always super thin and super perfect, and if you go to indie fashion shows, most of the time you have all sizes and all colored skin people working in the fashion shows. So basically, I would say that Angelic Pretty and maybe all the Japanese brand are not really everybody can be kawaii. It's like really the Japanese thin petite person, and if you do not fit that pattern, probably that's why they do not select you. I don't know, but I've not seen people really overweight model for Angelic Pretty, and I have seen so many of my friends modeling so beautifully for indie fashion shows that are really plus size, and I don't see that in Angelic Pretty. Maybe just because they wouldn't fit their dresses, even though some are very generous, but you know, just so you know. So in that email, they also mentioned that they wanted you to have plain makeup, skin tone underwear, and a bra that can have removable straps. They also ask you for pictures and locations of all your tattoos. I had none, so I was good, but they want like to know if they have chiffon blouses that are white or something. If you have a big tattoo, maybe it might show, and maybe they do not want to show that. Also, Japanese people don't really like tattoos because of Yakuza and everything. So then I sent them all this info and I waited. And I was freaking out because they said I would get information if I was selected or not before the end of June. And I was actually leaving on the 29th or 30th of June because I was going to spend a whole 10 days in Paris before the fashion show. And so I was so afraid that they will tell me if I was selected after I left. So my suitcase was already full with tons of stuff that I had to take with me. I was going to Japan Expo 2 days, so I chose to wear one dress but 2 different coordinates with that dress, plus my full coordinate for the event with wings and everything, and 2 sets of shoes. I did not choose to wear the white shoes because I was saving them for the fashion show in case I was in it, so I did not want to get them dirty and they were too small to wear the whole day. So yeah, my suitcase was already full, and then I had to maybe take more petticoats to have a puffier look, and then all my wigs, and then shoes, and so many different things. And so I was kind of freaking out that they will tell me after I left. But when I was actually making my suitcase, I checked my email and they had answered me that I was not selected, and I was actually relieved. So because I could pack easier, because I would be able to be less stressed when packing, and so I could take all that stuff off my suitcase, so that was really good. And also I was kind of freaking out to model for my best ever favorite brand, and like you have to represent them so well, and then they use your pictures and magazines and everything, so I was freaking out. And actually, yeah, I would totally love to represent Angelic Pretty and model for them in a fashion show, so I'll keep applying. But yeah, on that day I was kind of relieved that they did not select me. They mentioned something, I don't know if it's the general wording or something, but they wrote in the email, after consulting with Angelic Pretty Japan, we decided not to select you, or something like that. So that definitely Angelic Pretty Japan has some say in it, and it's not just the girls from Paris who choose who models. So now I will tell you what I think made me not be selected, and I will tell you the whole list of what you have to have ready to apply, so that you can be ready for next time, and hopefully you are picked, and maybe hopefully next year I am more prepared too, and I will maybe be picked in the future. We'll see. So probably my flat tea party shoes were not the good shoes that I was looking for, so I would make sure to have high heels and like pretty Angelic Pretty shoes, but they are so expensive. So expensive. So I will totally buy them secondhand. So I have an alert on Lace Market for all the Angelic Pretty shoes, and each time there's a new one, I look if they would fit or not, and I will definitely buy a pair of Angelic Pretty shoes just for that. But I don't think I will buy like 179 euros shoes in white and pearl, or like shiny shoes just for the fashion show, because that's way too expensive for that, and then I would be afraid of wearing them elsewhere to get them dirty. So yeah, I will definitely buy them secondhand. And I will be sure I will never ever stand a Baby Sister Shine Bright picture to Angelic Pretty, and vice versa, I guess. And also my weight. I mean, I do not plan on losing weight just to be in the AP fashion show. I will lose weight if I need to, if I want to, but not for that. So yeah, if they are discriminating me based on my weight, then that's okay. So that's the full list of what you will need to apply to be a model for Angelic Pretty. You need a good headshot with makeup. You need a full body picture of you wearing Lolita, and I suggest it's an Angelic Pretty dress. You need pictures of all your wigs and or hairstyles. You need Angelic Pretty shoes that are pretty enough to be in the fashion show, and possibly white. You need your own petticoat and bloomer. You need skin colored underwear, and the bra where you can remove the straps. You need to show all your tattoos and pictures and locations of them. And so you have to know all your measurements in centimeters and your shoe size in European and Japanese size. Maybe if you're applying in the US, like US and Japanese style. And maybe if you're applying to the US, they will not even ask you for centimeters, or maybe they will because of Japan that also has centimeters. I don't know. And they did not say if having a previous modeling experience is selecting or not, but I would say that if you get a chance to model for a local brand or an indie brand at any event, I would totally go for that. So at least you can say yes that you have experience, because I think they receive enough applications so that they can really pick, and they will probably, the first thing that they will say is that they will not take people without modeling experience. I don't know. I really don't know. But anyways, I hope that this very long video was helpful for you if you want to apply to an Angelic Pretty event to be a model. Like I said, it's not what you should do. If you have all of this prepared, like I said, will never guarantee you to be picked. But if you do not have all of this, maybe you will not be picked. And yeah, maybe you can use my own bad experience to be selected. Basically, my video was more like what not to do when you are applying for an Angelic Pretty modeling spot than actually what to do. But I hope that helped you, and I will tell you all about my coordinates. So this is my favorite wig that I bought from Wish. This headbow that is underneath, like headband with this, is from my friend Peel. She lended it me so I can use it in the fashion show in Dublin. So I'm using it for this video. Thank you, Peel. And this is Baby's Assertion Bride headbow. This is not an AP video whatsoever. This was just, yeah, I would not wear that to apply for AP. Anyways, this is a handmade ring, and this is an Angelic Pretty dress with something. And this necklace I bought at Paris Kid in Harajuku, and this is an Angelic Pretty kutsu. And I think that's it. So thank you so much for watching that video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and have a fluffy day. And remember, everybody can be kawaii. Bye!